What's up? What's up, Vinyl community? YouTube. Welcome to Cosmic Vinyl. I'm Brian. Cosmic Brian. Your foolish host. Look at my purple pillow. You guys digging it? Got all kinds of fuzzy stuff in it. Anyway, we're doing a contest video. I'm gonna sit on my pillow because I feel like I'm not high enough up. Oh, look at me! I'm taller. I'm a tall guy. All right. David Newton, the Rootin' Tootin' Newton, the Fig. I'm sure you've heard them all. Anyway, Mr. Newton, I appreciate you inviting us to your contest and into your channel. You have an awesome channel and a great collection. I just imagine this, like, whatever mood you're in, you'd just be able to pluck, like, some great record out of your collection to pop on. I would say your collection's probably right up there in the top of the vinyl community. So, yeah, as far as holding my interest in your videos, I love it. I may not comment all the time. I try, man. But sometimes I watch the videos at work and I don't get time to always comment. But that doesn't mean I'm not out there digging it, dropping a like on it. So anyway, cheers to you, Mr. Newton, on your contest. Oh shit, I can't even remember. What was it for again? Subs or something? Anyway, I just know that the contest is for decades. You show an album from your favorite decade. I also watched your follow-up where you even cheated it. You actually broke your own rules in your contest. So, yeah, what's good for the goose, good for the gander, right? So I might break them. I think you'll understand if I break the rules, or I'll just bend them a little bit. I might not, break it. I'll just gently bend them. But anyway, let's get the shades off and get this thing going, man. I'm dicking around, wasting time. Woohoo! Yeah! Not going with the new glasses today. Going with the old school. Going old. What was that? Cosmic Realm! Here's what we're listening to. Just got this not too long ago. I've been digging a lot of, like, new wave 80s stuff. This is 81, The Vapors. You might know them from their song Turning Japanese, but I got this record recently. I've just been giving it a spin here, giving it a nice listen. So, not going to talk too much about it because I'll be showing that in a Vinyl Finds video soon. So, okay, I opted to start with the decade of the 60s. Now, I have a lot of my records in my collection are from the 60s. To pick a favorite would be Ludacris. I like all kinds of different 60s music too. I like the, 60s like soul R&B, Motown. I like 60s like the garagey stuff. I even like the the pop songs and the groups like Herman's Hermits and Dave Clark 5, and I love that stuff. I like the Doors, Love, all that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of all 60s music. So but I'm gonna, I actually picked this record not because of how huge of a fan I am of it and how it's one of my favorite. I picked it just because it's got a really cool cover. It's from the 60s. It's called A Giant Crab Comes Forth. Ooh, Look at that beautiful cover, though. I just love that color scheme. If it wasn't for the exception of this punch hole right here, this would be just in really great condition. It's on the Uni label. Just kind of a really cool, it's like a narrated, actually, the song list is actually a narration, just put in the form of a song list. It's so wild. It's like a concept album of what like a sci-fi movie like from the 60s, you know, where a giant crab might like enter a city and begin to destroy it. Something like that. But anyway, this is really fun album. I really enjoy it. And of course it's on the amazing Uni label, which I just adore that label. It's just beautiful color scheme in the swirl, the Uni swirl there. So yeah, that's one of the 60. I'm going to show a couple things from each one. I love this one. I love. Yeah, this is Love's self-titled album. I dig the cover. I mean, check those bad boys out right there. I mean, they're like, it's just such a great cover, you know. They're all just, I think that place that they're leaned up against is a place called the Castle where they lived in LA and they recorded and stuff. So, very cool. There they are on the back there. This has like one of my favorite Love songs, My Little Red Book. It's also got Can't Explain, Hey Joe, Mushroom Clouds. It's just it's a really cool, real cool record. Fun to listen to, so I picked that one. For my 70s, I didn't feel like I could get away with showing the 70s if I didn't show a little Alice Cooper. Alice really fired up and came into his prime around this time, I thought. This is Welcome to Your Nightmare by Alice Cooper. Of course, it's got the great songs on it. Welcome, the title track, Devil's Food and Black Widow, that are kind of run into each other. One of his first big radio hits, Only Women Bleed, is also on this. Steven, Department of Youth. It's got, you know, his dark humor, and there's the usual necrophilia and what other murder and mayhem that's on a lot of the stuff that Alice Cooper had in his records. So I put Welcome to My Nightmare as one of my 70s records. And a lot of people would associate this next band with the 80s, but technically they came out in the 70s, and this first record that they came out with is almost like a frigging greatest hits record, but it did come out in 79, so technically not an 80s record. It's actually, I think it came out in 78, but this is the Cars first record, and it is just an amazing album. I mean, like I said, it's almost like a greatest hits record. I mean, Let the Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just When I Needed, You're All I've Got Tonight, Moving in Stereo. I mean, this is just chock full of some of their greatest all-time hits. But yeah, I love this album so much that I had to put the Cars in there. One of my favorite bands of all time. I didn't mean to put all these in here, but I also threw in this Nick Gilder. This is City Nights. That's got the hit on it that most people would know is Hot Child in the City. But check out, that's definitely a little 70s glam action there. He's got the big wide bottom slacks there, and you know, the 70s like Bowie haircut. So I don't know, I'm sneaking in a couple of extra ones here. I hope you don't mind, Dave. Also throwing some Kiss there. Check that out there, the inner sleeve with the blood. It's probably Gene, he just spit it out onto the... But yeah, it's a great album cover here. Another 70s great record. This one, the hits on this were like Love Gun, Christine 16, Shock Me by Ace Frehley, I Stole Your Love. I mean, this is just a great, great record here. And the great artwork, of course. Moving into the 80s, a band that took a lot of influence with their earlier stuff, especially their live show, was Motley Crue. Took a lot from Kiss. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the pentagram, if I can get the light right on it. This was the original cover. The other cover ended up having like the 4 faces on it, the reissue. Check those guys out. That is just so amazing. And the gatefold, you gotta see this. One of the best gatefolds in an album ever. And I'm not even kidding. I hope you can get all that, but that is absolutely amazing. Oh, look at that color, the fire, the color. I wish Vince still looked like that. I guess he's working on it. You know, I guess he's trying to transform back into, he's in a program he's dedicated to losing some poundage. So maybe we'll get our old Vince back. I'm pulling for the guy, man. I love Vince, man. I don't want him to I don't want our last memories of Vince Neil to be this, you know, huge glob of, you know, I want my memories to be, I want him to go be that stud that he was back in the 80s, so. And I got nothing against people of larger size. When I remember Vince Neil, I want him to be like the guy I worshipped with the posters on my wall. Not realistic, I know. Another record, not really new wave, but more power pop than new wave, is the Romantics. I just love this guy. This is seen, you know, it's been played a lot, and I've had it for a long time. It's got definitely some ring wear, but this one's called In Heat. This one came out in '83, the year I graduated high school. And the song that I remember that was so great was Talking in Your Sleep. But Rock You Up, another great power pop song too. One in a Million was another hit off of this one. So yeah, off the 80s, the Romantics. Just a great power pop band from the 80s. Wanted to show this with my 90s. You know what? I'm going to skip that one for a minute. I could have showed Guns N' Roses for my 80s, but, you know, a lot of people will probably show Guns N' Roses, but I wanted to go with their counterparts, Faster Pussycat. Kind of Guns N' Roses, Faster Pussycat, LA Guns, Junkyard, Jet Boy. Those were like the gypsy rock, like the Sea Hags. Those are like the sleaze rock that came out in the late 80s. In fact, a lot of these were like 89, so we're on the cusp of the 90s. But yes, this is we used to listen to this one over and over. One of the first like club glam bands I seen in a club from the 80s was Faster Pussycat. Seen them at a club called On the Rocks in Deep Ellum in Dallas, Texas, where we lived, and we were in bands down there. So songs like Don't Change That Song, Bathroom Wall, Cat House, Babylon. Just a great, great record. Bottle in Front of Me is like a frontal lobotomy. But anyway, Tame Me Down and the Boys. Yeah. Brett Muscat. Faster Pussycat. Great record. Okay, so, and this one I wanted to show in the 90s too, but I'm going to cheat it anyway. Faith No More, The Real Thing. The song was epic off of this one. Turns out this is not a 90s record. This also came out in '89. Hard to believe because the sounds, they were a-changing, and just seemed like this was more 90s than it was 80s. But I guess not. So I somehow showed it anyway. I managed to. I don't have a lot of records from the 90s. Who does? I mean, there really wasn't a lot. But I will show this. Nirvana, Nevermind. we all know how this record and this band changed the face of music as we know it, and I think their timing was pretty immaculate as far as the fans were looking for a change, and this is what they chose to cling on to. A band that if the Nirvana never didn't fit the bill, if Nirvana never was, I believe this band would have been the voice of a generation, and that would have been Smashing Pumpkins. And this album is called Gish, and this is just an amazing. It's purple, and I love it. Oops, almost lost my song sheet there, but gatefold there. I don't know if you can see our heroes there. It's really foily, and but yeah, Smashing Pumpkins, the album is called Gish, and just an amazing record. Check out the group there. You probably get a better shot of them there. I feel like they could have definitely also been the band that changed things in fact, I think they had a huge part in the change that came about in music from the 80s hair to like a more of a broken down raw sound of the like grunge and alternative music. So that was my 90s. Another album that came out in the 90s was Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe. It's also got a pretty groovy gatefold as well. Songs like 13 Tales of Cadaverous Cavorting Inside the Spook Show International, Call of the Zombie, Super Beast, Dragula, dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and slammed in the back of my Dragula. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and slammed in the back of my Dragula. Living Dead Girl, Meet the Creeper, Digging Deeper. That's my 90s stuff. Moving into my 2000s stuff. I think I'll show this one first. This is a Childish Gambino. God, what a great song. Redbone, when it came out, just basically took the world by storm. But yeah, this is a really killer record. There's some weird voodoo action going on here. Not sure exactly what sort of ritual is going on here. Witch doctor stuff. That's what it looks like to me, damn it. But yeah, my daughters absolutely loved this song, and so I got to hear it a lot, and I kind of got hooked on it, and so I decided to buy it on vinyl, and there it is. Cool cover too. Another band that turns out I've discovered in the 2000s that I've mentioned in a few videos is a band, Ghost, who I've become a big fan of. A little on the occultish side, but a really fun group to listen to. Got a little book here with like some art, some cool art and stuff here. I'm not going to go through it all. It's got artwork for each song. It's a nice package. I'll give you a close-up look at the band here as soon as I pull this out. There they are, Ghost. Just a really cool live band. Probably one of the best live bands I've seen in quite some time. There's something that they shot out of a confetti cannon. I've shown that in a couple of videos. The old $666 bill with Papa Emeritus on the cover there. So yeah, Ghost turns out to be one of my favorite groups from the 2000s. And I just wanted to give this record a little love. Never seen it showed in the VC before except for once, and that was on my video. I showed it. But this is Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy came out in 2008. Was supposedly supposed to have come out in like 93, 94, 98, 2000, you name it. There was tons of release dates, but turns out Axl Rose is quite the perfectionist, and also maybe a little self-doubt involved, and it never came out till 2008. But this is hard rock, it's metal, it's electronic, it's industrial, it's a little bit of everything, and really a pretty cool album overall. I totally dig it, and for 20 bucks it's a double album. Yeah, I'd say if you don't have this in your collection, you can grab it for a 20 spot. I would. Anyway, that's my decades video for Mr. David Newton. Congratulations, and thank you for allowing me to be in this contest. This is Brian at Cosmic Vinyl, YouTube, vinyl community. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Diet Coke, it's the real thing. Love y'all.